The narrative surrounding Antoine Griezmann is a funny one, I have to admit. I really do like the player, in fact, although he has gotten a lot of controversy this last campaign, and that is why I'm kind of making this video. Because I don't know, guys, where do you stand? I want to know that throughout this video. I want to give you my arguments as to why, whether we should keep or sell Antoine Griezmann, because he's a player that I do like, but I also do understand that the Euros and his performances of late with France could potentially reevaluate him in the market, and that could be a very good signature, a very good sell, a very good departure for Barcelona to make, and that will bring potentially even more money that could build a good squad for the next campaign. So that is something that we must discuss, and let's do it now in this episode of Unscripted. What's going on, guys? ¿Cómo están? BugaLuis here, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. And yes, indeed, like I already said, Antoine Griezmann is a player that has been slowly creeping up in, I'll say, what I call my heart. Because I like him. I like him as a player. I really do. I think he's entertaining. I think that he gives a lot for a team. Just seeing him play with France in his last few performances in the Euros have really shown me that he gives a lot for the team. He runs for every ball, and that is something not only that he did for France, he does it as well for Barcelona, and I think that is crucial to remember. Let's not forget that Antoine Griezmann has always been a team player, and with that I want to move onwards into my very first argument as to why Barcelona should keep him, and that is exactly that he's an incredible team player. In a back three, in a 4-3-3, no matter what formation do you play, in a possession style team like Barcelona, you need your forwards to press. You always need the collective to be working in unison to defend collectively. And that is something that Antoine Griezmann has given always to the team, and I've always praised him for doing that, even so much so I know that you guys recognize that, even to where I've seen some comments suggesting that Griezmann should play as a left back, which is honestly ridiculous, but I do get what you mean. At the start of the season, Griezmann kind of only served for that. Perhaps he played better defensively than he did attacking, and of course that is something that you do not want from a World Cup winner and an 120 million euro transfer that you paid for a player from Atletico Madrid. That is not what you want. But from then onwards in this new year, in 2021, Antoine Griezmann has changed completely. I have to admit, Antoine Griezmann has played much better. He's understanding the way to play dynamically within the link-up play with people like Lionel Messi, Antoine Griezmann, Ousmane Dembele joining in the attack. Griezmann has just become a much better player, and I do want to reinforce that point because I think people do forget that his improvements, his stats, everything has been better, has been gradually improving since last season, and that is something that we must attribute to him, and we must give credit to the player because he's actually understanding, and he said it in an interview with Valdano. He said it, he needs time to improve, he needs time to adapt, and it shows now. After 1 year with the club, he's playing much better football. So much so that I wanted to attribute La Copa del Rey to our star man, Antoine Griezmann. The Copa del Rey that Barcelona won, the 27th in fact in their history, is all down, I believe, to Antoine Griezmann. He was probably the hero all around in that competition. Not only did he give the pre-pass to Frankie de Jong for the goal against Rayo Vallecano, he scored 2 goals in the comeback against Granada. He assisted, in fact, with an incredible, I don't know what you call it, like a fake shot. That is what you call it on FIFA, a fake shot to cross then to Gerard Piqué for the comeback against Sevilla, and then he scored in the final against Atletico Bilbao. Antoine Griezmann was just all over the place really in the Copa del Rey, and it shows you that this player is hungry, and for me this is the most important thing, and I want you guys to remember this. If there's something that you take away from this video, keep this, and that is that Antoine Griezmann, in comparison to all of the other players that we have in our squad, be that older players, let's say you bring in Kun Agüero, you could even bring Memphis Depay or whatnot, Antoine Griezmann is hungry. Antoine Griezmann hasn't won that much really in his career. He has won the World Cup, he has won Europa League, he hasn't won a La Liga title, he has won a Copa del Rey, and that's pretty much it. He hasn't won that, just really 3 big trophies, and that's it. So there's of course a long way to go for Antoine Griezmann, and that's what I think his career is actually pretty short. That's what when I look at Antoine Griezmann, I look at a player that could go all the way, in fact, and a player that will be giving his 100% until the end of his very days, because he knows that his best chance at winning trophies is still with Barcelona, and he needs to run, he needs to work, he needs to just do 100% of what the manager tells him to do at the very best, and give the best at all for the team. Because he's hungry, because he wants to win those trophies that he hasn't gotten before. The Champions League, La Liga, all of those things are missing for Antoine Griezmann. And that is why I think he has an advantage all of the other older players that are in our squad that perhaps you are comparing him to. Antoine Griezmann doesn't have that much of a trophy repertoire, and it shows because he works harder than them, and I think that's a benefit that we must remember. And the last thing, guys, that I want to tell you why we need to keep Antoine Griezmann is because, well, he has actually been improving off late in the team, and with the incorporation of El Kun Agüero with Memphis Depay, he can potentially improve even further. When we take a look at Griezmann, he's a player that always needs to rely on a focal point, a player that plays centrally and kind of tends to drift wide from those areas. Memphis Depay can help him do that, although Memphis Depay does like to drift and play more in the left flank per se. But Kun Agüero is completely different. Agüero is a player that likes to stick just to the center, and Griezmann will use that just perfectly. I think the combination that he can create with Agüero could be very nicely because they can work out of each other great. I think that Agüero, just being a poacher number 9, can give them very much movement and tracking runs that Griezmann would need to find more space in within the box. Griezmann, we know that has been doing a lot more runs. Let's say that last goal that he scored against Atletico Bilbao, or the goal that he scored in our last game against, was it Eibar per se? I think it was. The last goals are always about movement. And although Griezmann does movement and interprets the runs very well, when he has another striker per se in Agüero that can do that even better, I think that Griezmann will just go up even a level, because Griezmann is better when the rebound falls to him. When it comes to Griezmann creating the play, as you've seen from the latest goal that he has scored for France, it's always when Griezmann has the opportunity to be the second player in the chance, the second player in the run, the second player trying to finalize that play. And with that movement, I think that Griezmann will find even more spaces. And as we know, more spaces grant Griezmann more opportunities to show off his skill set. And the reasons why we need to sell him are actually not that much, but something that I really do want to mention, guys, is the Euros. Because you've already heard me talk a lot about Griezmann and how perhaps his value may be decreasing, but the opportunity here with a Euros coming along is something that we must not really shy an eye on. Because if Griezmann has a good Euros and he's able to raise his market value further, let's say from what he's had by the end of the season even more, Barcelona can get an opportunity to sell the player on a high. And that could be something very good that perhaps won't be coming along. And we've seen so far that Juventus are making offers for Antoine Griezmann for, say, if Cristiano Ronaldo would end up leaving Turin, which could be very positive for Barcelona because they'll be able to cash out on the World Cup winner. They potentially could be looking Manchester City to look at Antoine Griezmann as well, and PSG could do the same. Antoine Griezmann has some suitors around Europe, but really they're not that big. They're not that interested in Antoine Griezmann just yet. But if the Euros in fact do happen and give Griezmann that opportunity to rise to stardom once again and show his qualities to the best of his abilities, I'm pretty sure that there are going to be plenty of teams looking for a player just like him. And that is something that Barcelona cannot shy away from. Antoine Griezmann still can be a Barcelona player next season. If there's someone that Barcelona could sell, I think there's more possibility in Ousmane Dembele leaving than Antoine Griezmann, because he has 1 year left in his contract. And perhaps with the recovery of Ansu Fati and the signature of Memphis Depay that play in very similar positions, Dembele kind of could potentially be surplus to requirements, whilst Antoine Griezmann perhaps could still be a player that is needed in the team. But I guess that time would just tell. So let me know in the comment box down below, what would you do with our forward situation? I want to really hear what your opinion on Antoine Griezmann is as of today, because like I say, it's something that we could do. Barcelona could keep Antoine Griezmann, but if the Euros goes very well for him, well, the opportunity to sell him is also always there. So I want to hear what you have to say, and that's going to be it for now. That's gonna be everything for right now, guys. Hope you have enjoyed. Be sure to let me in the comment box down below, what would you do with Antoine Griezmann? Would you keep him or would you sell him? And of course, if you like this video, remember to drop us a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Ciao, ciao.